It's round 8 of the Daytona DMAX Heavy Enduro Championship. We're here at Clay Pigeon. As you can see, it's quite foggy around. We've just had qualifying. Championship leader and champion-elect Tomek Zaustovic took pole position by 4 thousandths from Lee Whitney, who stood right next to him. Tomek, that was very close indeed, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was literally close during the qualifying. We've been on each other bumpers all the time, which was almost like a race already. So a good warm-up, to be honest. And it's just 4 thousandths of a second between us, which is fantastic. It should be quite a good race. And
you can wrap things up today, championship-wise. Am I correct?
Yes. If I finish one position in front of Tom Pugh, then that would mean I won the championship, Enduro championship. So yeah, hopefully it's going to be like that.
Tom,
5th, so
yeah, he's starting 5th place. I was just going to say that. So all close, but very close. I want to grab one quick word with Lee. You've had some terrible luck recently. 4 thousandths behind Tomek. I imagine you placed yourself there on purpose. Good track position. Try and chase him down. 4 thousandths in the end. You got a plan for the start?
Don't take anyone out. Keep it clean. And just go from there. I don't mind following him for the whole hour. I've not had great endurance results all year, so it'd be nice to try and get around that podium. So yeah, it'd be good.
Well, best of luck with that, Lee. I think we're going to go over to Alex over there now, because he's got 3rd place with him, Chris Peberdy.
Yes, Chris Peberdy, who's actually got his best qualifying of the season. Chris, you were actually in the mix for provisional pole with about a couple of minutes remaining, but you must be happy with 3rd round, a very, very fast track here at Clay Pigeon.
Yeah, well, it was very slippy out there, to be fair. It had its slippery patches. Turn 1, you can just go flat out for it and you just can feel the cart twitching. But really happy to be up there. Finally, I did it.
And
it's the race to go now, so that's it.
So what's your plan of attack? Are you going to sort of wait and bide your time like we've seen in a lot of the Enduros this year?
Yeah, I'll probably just wait for my time, and then fingers crossed I don't get into any crashes or bumps, but just wait a minute and then probably try and pounce if I got the pace.
Okay. All the very best of luck, Chris. It's going to be a good one here for the heavies kicking us off.
Yes, yeah, of course we can crown a champion in Tomek Zaustovic today, and Mark Ford is mixing it up in the super heavies. It's your first time here. I've raced around here in DMAX. What are you expecting?
I'm expecting fast-paced action from the word go. It's going to be tricky out there for some of the drivers. Still got some wet patches there, but hopefully as the track rubbers in, dries out, we should have the pace going up, and I can see a good couple of battles at least happening.
Yeah, I think if they all get through turn 2 safely, we should see a good race. We've got, let's see, about 13, 14 drivers within half a second, so very close. No rest around this track either, so it's going to be a tough hour. So all that in mind, let's get straight into the race.
So here it is, Heavy Enduro, round 8, Daytona DMAX here at Clay Pigeon in Dorset. Let's run you through the grid, what's going to be a fantastic 1-hour race. Tomek Zaustovic, champion-elect, on pole position. Alongside him, Lee Whitney. Row 2 sees Chris Peberdy and Sam Harris ahead of Tom Pugh and Tarek Almu. Tom Pugh needs to keep the championship alive by staying ahead of Tomek Zaustovic when the flag falls after an hour. They're ahead of Tarek Almu and Alex Pritchard, who got a podium at Sandown Park last time out, ahead of the returning Adam Nakar and Vince Cogswell, with Mark Ford leading super heavy in 10th place. Rounding out the order, it's Blaise Yanko from Rob Bennett, Chris Monroe, Paul Studd, Paul Manton, who returns after not racing at Sandown, Vinod Hirani, who's had some really good results in the last couple of rounds, ahead of Richard Newton, Darren Hughes, Toby Whiffen, Robert Pertak, Gary Martin and Steve Porter. And as I say that, Chris, we've got sunshine breaking through the clouds after torrential downpours and fog earlier on this morning.
Yes, it's not been the best of weather overnight. It's been pretty cold this morning, but just as we are going to get things underway here at Clay Pigeon, it looks like the weather is starting to get a lot better. Zaustovic and Whitney, your front row. Lee Whitney has not had the best of luck this season by his standards. Is this about time his season turns around? They head up to the start-finish line then. This is the first time we're back after a year's absence. Are we going to get away first time? Zaustovic to the left there, Whitney to the right, and that is a very clean start as we are away and racing here at Clay Pigeon.
And Chris Peberdy's going up the inside of Lee Whitney into turn 1, and we've got a spinner off track already into the barriers.
That's Tarek Almu, I believe that is
and
off.
We've got another spinner as well.
Blaise Sienko is off, and I can't quite make out who the other driver is, but Zalstovic leads Whitney down towards turn number 4.
And Tom Pugh's throwing it up the inside into turn 4
That's
on
Pritchard.
Alex Pritchard.
Yeah.
And Adam Nakar, I think, is trying to work his way through there as well. Side by side, down the start-finish straight they come. And it's heavy and super heavy, and Monroe will have the rundown on the inside line, going into turn 2, sweeps ahead of Cogsall nicely there. Well done, Mr. Monroe.
Chris Pebbody there in 3rd place, coming under some increasing pressure. You can see him in the blue race suit, heading up towards the last corner.
Sam Harris is thinking to move up the inside, is right on the back bumper coming through the final turn. Down the start-finish straight they go, and following in close pursuit, it is Tom Pugh, who is still trying to keep this championship alive. The trio come through into turn 2. Very, very hefty braking zone there after this slight left kink there, Chris, as Paul Manton is throwing one up the inside of Vinod Hirani going into turn 5 and turn 5. So they've been battling for a few laps now. Now keep an eye on this battle for 6th place. It's Alex Pritchard being followed very closely by Adam Nakar, Chris Monroe leading super heavy, and Vince Cogsall. And Nakar is on the charge, trying to throw one up the inside at some point past Alex Pritchard, who did a great job at Sandown Park.
I'll tell you what, Nakar's going to have a go here down at turn 2, I reckon. Here we go, down towards turn 2. Well, what about turn 4? I'll tell you what, Alex, though, despite the fact they are battling, they are getting closer to the queue ahead. It's now only 1.8 seconds to this trio ahead of him, and let's go ahead, because here comes Tom Pugh up the inside for 4th place there in the white race suit, and behind we can just catch a glimpse of a move there.
But Sam Harris is throwing it back up the inside, going into turn 5 there. So Sam Harris reacted brilliantly there from the advances of Tom Pugh, who threw it up the inside into turn 4, and Sam Harris retaliated with another move of his own, and Tom Pugh is going side by side down the start finish straight they go. Pugh will have the inside line if he was able to get ahead, but Sam Harris sweeps back ahead nicely going into turn 2 for 4th place.
And here comes Nakar back up the inside into 4. Nakar back up the inside. It's going to take that place back, all because Chris Monroe made a mistake going in towards the turn 3 chicane, and Chris Monroe once again running wide there through turn 5. Now he's got pressure from Vince Cogsall as they head through the last corner. Let's switch back to this battle then for 3rd place, because Sam Harris is getting closer. Tom Pugh, the quickest of this trio now, as they make their way up towards the turn 3 chicane. Through there they go, pretty much flat out through there onto the runoff area. Don't use too much of that or you'll pick up the penalty.
Pugh's
and
throwing
there goes Pugh.
Pugh's throwing it up the inside into turn 4, but Harris actually blocks him off there nicely. So
well,
great.
You say that, but Tom Pugh just, I think, thought he was going to go straight into the side of Sam Harris, and decided to back out of the move in the end. There wasn't really any defensive driving from what I could see. Let's stay with this battle for the Alex Pritchard battle. Let's go on board with him, in fact, as we head up now towards the chicane. Through there we go. You can see the trio ahead. What you can't see on board with Alex Pritchard is the 3 carts queuing up behind. Let's cut back then to a wider view of this. There's Nakar, Monroe, Cogsall in that order as they head up towards turn 5. Here we go, Alex.
Nakar's throwing it up the inside into turn 5. Runs Alex Pritchard a little bit wide, and Chris Monroe is trying to think of an outside move there, but couldn't really make it. But Alex Pritchard is fighting back at Adam Nakar. The pair are bumper to bumper as they come through the final turn. It's a slipstream fest here between these 4 for 5th place. And Monroe is putting the feelers out on Alex Pritchard as they go through turn 3, heading into the turn 3 and 4 chicane. So down the straight they come.
Here we go. We're going to see a move here, 100%. Chris Monroe. Is he going to line one up?
He's throwing it up the inside into turn 4. Nice move by the leading super heavy to go ahead of that. And look, Vince Cogsall it's nearly 3 wide going into turn 5. Vince Cogsall backs it back in. Pritchard retakes the place, and Cogsall's up the outside of Chris Monroe going into turn 6 there.
Yeah, he won't make it past. Vince Cogsall should have got up the inside of Chris Monroe there. The door was open, but he didn't decide to go through it.
And Chris Monroe throws it up the inside of Alex Pritchard into turn 4. And Pritchard is battling side by side. The pair head down into turn 5.
All right, here's Cogsall's chance to make a place. Perhaps not close enough.
He's thinking about it because they're just heading into turn 6 as we speak. Alex Pritchard is trying to fight back. He goes up the inside of Chris Monroe going into the final turn. There was a little bit of contact. Cogsall has actually capitalised, and the pair, both Monroe and Pritchard have actually raised their hands to say, oh, sorry about that.
Well, no, that was more like Monroe, like, what was that all about? And Pritchard said, take the place. But Cogsdale said, thanks very much, mate. Through he goes. 2 places, easy as you like, as they head down towards turn number 4. So Monroe is kind of where he was. All he is now is he has to try and pass someone else. Let's switch to this third place battle, because in the process of it, and Peabody spun.
Oh, he spun, and
he spun on his own.
And that's one of the super heavies there who's also spun.
No, that was a back marker who spun. I think that was Steve Porter who spun as well. Peabody, there wasn't any contact. Peabody just seemed to clip the curb and spun round.
It looked very much the case, because Sam Harris was
where's that going to drop him to? Because here he comes up to the line.
He's behind Rob Bennett at the moment.
Rob Bennett's a lap down as he's come into the pits. Chris Peabody is 9th. Yep, that marker's doing a very good job so far getting out the way. Some of the drivers they're catching at the moment are the ones that were caught up on that first lap incident. Now, Lee Whitney, I'm telling you, Alex, I'm almost tempted to say let's not even bother with this battle, because he's going to wait. He said it in his interview. He's going to wait to the end of the race. No need. Look at the gap they've built up. 8.2 seconds over Sam Harris. Sam Harris will be able to see that battle if he just looks left and think, come on, Lee Whitney. Turn this into a fight, mate.
Now, Chris, I can see a major shift in the climactic conditions.
Yes,
the cloud cover is moving. Fog could be imminent here at Clay Pigeon. We had it before qualifying, and it's been clear so far. But these climactic conditions, someone referred to Clay Pigeon as a Spa microclimate here. And that's very much been the case this weekend so far.
Someone grab Alex a green screen. He's turned into a weatherman.
No, my name is not Michael Fish. If anyone remembers that day in 1987.
Okay. Paul Studd now into the top 10. And all of a sudden, he's the lead super heavy driver, Paul Studd. With Chris Monroe in the pits, Paul Studd on for super heavy victory here as he turns his way through the left-hander. Now there comes Monroe, which does tell me he probably was given a penalty.
I think
he must have done, because he's come into the pits and he's come straight back out again.
I would have thought that probably might have been a black flag or a drive-through. So that's the second rate. Well, I mean, last time out, Chris did not have.
Oh, and look, and he's just gesticulated to Pritchard there. Now I wonder if that was for the little incident that Pritchard and Monroe had.
Meanwhile, look at Lee Whitney still on the back.
Oh, there he goes. Lee Whitney takes the lead.
Zastovic went sideways there going into turn 2.
Lee Whitney, I think, no, he's taken the lead. Well, it just looked like a mistake from Tomek.
It was. He basically went into turn 2 and the cart drifted out. You could see that it
just locked up the brakes.
He locked up the brakes.
So here we go. Alex, Tomek's going to fight back here. Here we go. They're side by side down the start-finish straight, and Tomek's back through. So Lee Whitney making a mistake within a few corners of having the race lead.
This could go down to the wire between both Harris and Pugh for the final spot on the podium.
Well, Tom Pugh, we know, does not tire in a race. We'll be able to keep this kind of pace up come the end, of course, having done some of our 24-hour races as well. Sam Harris, new to the series, last round for this season anyway. And where did you were here last time. He picked up, I think it was 29 points.
20 points. So Sam was actually in the lower echelon of the top 10. So I think he was battling for, like, there was a 4-way scrap for 6th to 10th, which Lee Whitney actually eventually lost out on, finishing in 11th place.
Yes.
And look at where Lee Whitney is now. That race suit must be doing a bit of a charm for him. Now this battle for third place is going to get very interesting as Sam Harris is trying to negotiate his way past back marker traffic, going through the final turn.
Let's follow this one then. Oh, here we go. It could. Well, he's been delayed there, Sam Harris, and Tom Pugh in that white race suit is trying to line up a move as they head through turn 1. Tom Pugh. Oh, and Blaise Sienko's in the tyres. Sienko in the tyres. He's not had the best start to the race as it is. He's buried in the tyres now.
He's not had a good season either.
Oh, that's Paul Studd, is it?
That is Paul Studd, who's
leading super heavy driver. So Paul Studd's had a spin. Now, has he lost any places? Paul Manton certainly went past, and I think Mark Ford has gone past as well. There's Mark Ford across the line. So yes, Paul Studd has lost the lead in the super heavy class as Vinod Hirani has gone through to second in that class and 11th overall. Paul Studd drops to 12th and 3rd overall.
Meanwhile, Tom Pugh has just overtaken Sam Harris for 3rd place. Did it in the final couple of corners there. I think that was through turn 6. So Tom Pugh struck whilst the iron was hot. That was
Sam
probably...
Harris not happy with that one.
So there was a little gesticulation there from the man that put it 4th on the grid. So he's back where he started. So that means that Tom Pugh, in the meanwhile, through Chris Peverty's spin and having got past Sam Harris, now jumps from 5th to 3rd.
Yeah, good move that then, well, from Tom Pugh's point of view, but Sam Harris didn't think so. So, well, I wonder if we were watching the lead battle whilst that happened, and whilst we looked away, Tom Pugh snuck through to 3rd place. There he is in the white race suit, now into a podium position.
But Nakar will have the run into turn 6. He throws it up the inside. Clean move there for 4th place for Adam Nakar, returning after an absence at Sandown Park. But think of it this way, this battle is by no means over. Harris is still right on his back bumper, heading through into turn 1 and into turn 2 there. So Harris is going to give as much as he can get and probably throw one back up the inside of Nakar at some possibility.
And Lee Whitney has taken the lead somehow. Lee Whitney on this lap, he was not leading going on to the lap. Tomek has made a mistake somewhere, or Lee Whitney's thrown one up the inside. Is Tomek in? Tomek's in the pits. Former race leader in the pits.
Our champion-elect is in the pit
Tomek
lane.
Zalstovic in the pits, so he won't wrap up the championship today. And Alex Goldschmidt, do you have some news for us?
Tomek Zalstovic had an issue with the kart. He thought something was wrong. He's had a kart swap. So hence the reason why he's way down the order.
Right. Well, was that being overcautious? Because with the amount of time left, surely he could have limped round to the flag.
Yes, and consolidate some points, because this is going to take the battle to Tamworth now next month.
Well, Adam Nakar has just quietly creeped up the order. Started 8th on the grid for number 3. Now he's got a chance for 2nd place. He's kept out of trouble. And Adam Nakar, Alex, in with a shot for 2nd place. I bet you can't believe it. It's getting very close. As Paul Studd there just clipping the cone through turn 2 as he goes past Paul Manton. That's a change of position, by the way. Paul Studd, that is him up to 10th place. He is the lead super heavy once again. Super heavy has put on a pretty entertaining show so far in terms of changing of positions. Paul Studd now back into the lead of that class. Let's return back to the 2nd place battle. Here we go, we've got a good view of it as they come down the start finish straight. So in order as they come past us: Pugh, Nakar, Harris, Almu, who's a lap down, then it's Coxall who is fighting for position.
Now this is an electric battle at the moment as they go through the chicane, with Tom Pugh narrowly ahead of Adam Nakar.
Well, that was a mistake from Tom Pugh out of the chicane there.
So it's not only just allowed Harris to be really close to Pugh, it's also Nakar as well. As
here we go.
Harris is really thinking about making a move on Adam Nakar.
Well, he's going to get through as quickly as possible. Time's running out. 6.5 minutes left.
They're coming through the final turn, so it's Pugh still from Nakar by a kart length, with a kart length between Nakar and Harris.
Pugh just assessing the situation there.
Oh, yellow flags, so
yeah,
they are putting the cone back into position.
Yeah,
so
we saw that one get knocked off, and everyone being very sensible under the yellows. I don't think Tom Pugh will want to make that mistake again.
Under braking, it looks like Pugh isn't as comfortable as Nakar and Harris and Coxall as well. They all seem to get really good purchase under braking. In the twistier stuff, it's clearly showing that Pugh is having to fight a little bit.
I think we've got some drivers tiring, to be honest.
This is a very physical track, very high pace, high adrenaline. One of the most
physical in the country.
It's now
nose
to tail, very close.
Closed it up. This is the closest it's been for a number of laps.
Nakar is thinking about something, so is Harris. This is fast because they've actually put a back marker between themselves. Look at Sam Harris, he was right on the back bumper going through turn 2 on Adam Nakar as they go through into the chicane. Sam Harris has got a really good run on Adam Nakar going in. He's throwing it up the inside, going up into turn 4. Sam Harris retakes 3rd place. Brilliant move.
Yeah, Sam Harris, a good run there from on Adam Nakar.
It's still side by side going through into turns 5 and 6. Nakar's got the inside line, retakes the place, but Sam Harris is still putting the hammer down, still trying to put full throttle, full power through those rear wheels, right on the back bumper of Adam Nakar. This is an electric battle in the dying stages for third place. A step on the podium could be possible for Sam Harris.
Tom Pugh's definitely going to finish second, as we're going to be into the last lap very shortly. This is the last lap, in fact, so one more lap for Sam Harris to try and grab this podium. He looks to the outside down at turn 4. Won't be able to go all the way around the outside there, so wait for the left-hander of turn 5.
Oh, Sam Harris goes a bit wide there. Look at Vince Coxell. He's near, he's very close there.
Sam Harris could get a chance. Lee Whitney takes the victory.
Sam Harris is trying to go up the inside. He goes up the inside of Adam Nakar on the final turn of this race. Tom Pugh comes across the line, and Sam Harris takes a podium here at Clay Pigeon. Brilliant last dash manoeuvre on the final lap, the final corner ahead of Adam Nakar. And as I say that, Vince Coxell, having taken 5th, unfortunately goes sideways into the barrier.
Oh, does he? Oh, wow. Yeah, he has. Oh, wow, that's strange. Vince Coxell into the barrier, but he'll keep that 5th place. Well, what a drive from Lee Whitney, 11.4 seconds ahead of the field. There he is, going up towards turn 6. A thoroughly deserved win for him. A shame we couldn't see him and Tomek Zaustovic fight it out to the flag, but Tom Pugh in second means the championship goes on to Tamworth. Sam Harris took 3rd place at the last lap, last corner in that brilliant move on Adam Nakar. Vince Coxell, by far his best performance of the season, in 5th. Pritchard was 6th. Zaustovic, after that cart swap, was 7th. Chris Pebbody should have been challenging for a podium, but a spin early doors meant he finished in 8th. Tarek Almu was off on the first lap and finished 9th. Paul Studd wins the super heavy class, 5.1 seconds ahead of Mark Ford. Then it's Paul Manton, Vinod Hirani 3rd in the super heavies. Rob Bennett, after a penalty, 14th. Chris Monroe also had to come to the pits, was 15th. Then it was Hughes, Martin, Pertak, Whiffin, Porter, Newton and Blasienko. I mean, how tough is it when you're in an endurance race like that to follow where you are? I guess that's when you need someone on a radio.
Yeah, it can be quite confusing knowing where you are, but yeah, quite surprised when I came in.
Well done. We'll 10th place and a win. We'll move on to Sam Harris, who was 3rd overall. Last lap, last corner. Let's look back at the move. Talk us through it.
Well, he got a run on me a couple laps before the end, and then I think he made a slight mistake down into the hairpin, and it was just sort of switched back between the last 2 corners, and I knew it was the last lap, but I thought I was in 5th, so I thought I was going for 4th. No, I didn't. I only found out when I got back to the pits that I was actually in 3rd, so happy with that. I was praying for it to rain the whole race, but it never did.
You made me look silly, because I said this morning, if you're leading into that corner, you won't get past. So it's quite a short braking zone, isn't it? But is it just enough to be able to make a move?
Yeah, it's quite hard to overtake it. I think unless you've got a massive pace advantage, you're never going to get through. But yeah, just threw it at the inside and it stuck. So happy with that.
Well done, well done. We'll move on to 2nd place, Tom Pugh. Here he is. Don't run away, Lee, because we'll be speaking to you after. Tom, you led home that battle for 2nd in the end, which was, I think you have 4 of you involved in that one. Could you see everyone behind? Did you have a plan coming into the last stages of the race?
No, not really. No, it was just a case of just doing the best I could. Started 5th, and then just had to have a crack at it and then see what I could do.
First win of the come on to the top step. Yeah, I don't stand on these very often unless I interview people. That must feel good.
Yeah, really good, really good. It's as I say, first win. Relatively easy, and unfortunately Tomek had a kart issue sort of 10-15 from the end. It was just a cruise to the end, but we were having a nice race. I was staying in his wheel tracks. I just thought we'll go. He went wide at turn 1 once and I went through, and he come back down at 3 past me, so I thought I'll just sit here, not anything silly, follow him to the end, and then unfortunately for Tomek, his kart went, and shame he's not up here on the podium. But unfortunately, we all had mechanical issues over the years, haven't we? So, it's really nice. Finally get one.
Speaking of, you've had a lot of bad luck, haven't you, this season? Does it feel good to win so convincingly now?
It's nice to get the win, whichever way. Let's say it would have been nice to fight Tomek all the way to the end. But yeah, even got black suit on today, first time in a year, and I got a black trophy to go with it. So that's quite nice.
A lonely win is always a good win, I think. Well done, Lee Whitney, the winner. To miss out like that, how does it feel? Must be a little bit disappointing, although I imagine fourth still good.
Fourth is still good. I had no idea it was for fourth. I thought Tomek had just made a jump. I could still see Lely in the distance. I thought Tomek had gone. Fourth is still good. It would be nice to have the extra 2 points because really I'm battling Rob for third in the championship overall. And he's another one who had a disaster today. I don't know what happened to him. So it would be useful to have that. But no, fourth is still good. It was quite exciting, quite a physical race. So yeah, enjoyed it. Happy with fourth. Nice to be back, hasn't it?
Yeah, are you glad to see the championship back here?
Yeah, it's a good circuit. It's nice to come here.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for speaking to us. And I believe that's all we have time to speak to. Unfortunately, we can't grab a word with Tomek, but maybe we'll ask him come the heats later. That's round 8 done for the Heavy Enduro DMAX Championship. If you want to get involved in this brilliant championship, visit our website or call this number.